So I should be live on YouTube now, going live on all social media. Facebook in 1 second, hopefully is charging, and the last one is gonna be Instagram. So in just 1 minute, I should confirm that I'm live on all our devices. Yes, this is wonderful. So welcome to this weekly live Q&A with Now. I'm truly happy to be speaking to you today. I'm Andrea Venzon, one of the co-founders of Now, and today I'll guide you through some wonderful development of Now, of our future plans, and obviously I will let you know what you can do to participate in this great adventure. There is a global movement. So to get started, while people connect, I want to go over 5 topics today. Very quick ones, but important. They are the same one they will send via the newsletter. So if you read the newsletter, you're going to be already updated, but I'm going to tell you more and cooler things. If you don't receive our newsletter, first of all, it's very bad. Go on our website and subscribe. Second of all, you're going to learn very cool things today. So the first topic of today is going to be what's going on with the G7, China, and the legal democracy. Very important campaign that we're pushing. I want to update you on all of that. The second topic is going to be what we're doing on the community side. We have now 50 new teams. We're doing very fun stuff. I see Alexander from Geneva. He's one of our leaders. I see many other people, so very good to see you here. And I'm then going to jump on a new addition of our team, the Wonder Woman behind this account. I'm going to quickly tell you about how our team has just expanded. And finally, I'm going to jump into the plan for 2021 so you can know what we are aiming for and how you can be of help for this wonderful, wonderful project. Are you ready? I want to hear, no, I can't hear it sadly. But I assume you are all ready for this. So I'm going to start with the first topic. There is G7. So if you have followed Now in the past 6 months almost, we've worked really hard on the topic of democracy and freedom. Why? Because as a global movement, we have members all over the planet that are currently facing oppression, discrimination, and are living under authoritarian rules. And even in established democracy, like in the US, as we have seen, democracy is often in retreat. So as a global movement, we said, okay, one of the first topics we want to cover before in our first year is the one of protecting democracy. We want to create a league of democracy that can safeguard freedom fighters, freedom and democracy all over the planet. Huge project, big idea. As you're gonna see soon, actually many others are starting to following this idea. We have politicians, there are many organizations, and actually also President Biden from the United States has advocated for a democracy summit with the idea of bringing democracies together to protect freedom. But before going there, as Now, we have worked, as I said, in the last 6 months, mobilized people, lobby politicians, and finally, we have a clear target for our work. In the upcoming G7, in June 2021, the 7 major democratic powers, together with India, South Korea, and Australia, are gathering together to discuss many topics, and we hope we're going to be able to influence them to discuss democracy as well. Why? If yesterday you have followed what happened in Davos, you might be very aware of the problem. Yesterday, President Xi of China issued a long statement at the economic meeting of Davos, saying, obviously advocating for multilateralism and open borders and cooperation, which is a very good message, while at the same time stating very clearly that human rights, democracy, and freedom are internal affairs, which translate with the fact that the second and soon to become first power on this planet, believe that human rights, democracy, and freedom are matters that any state can handle in any way possible without any consequences. And this is extremely scary. We already have seen it obviously in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, with the Uyghurs. So China has already a track record of clamping down on freedom and democracy. The only difference is that right now, the power and the influence that this country is having is very scary for the rest of the planet, especially for those like me that believe that freedom and democracy are more important than anything else we have today. So for that, we said, okay, it's clear, and yesterday, like it was unveiled spectacularly, it's clear that it's high time for democracies to come together and fight back. Fight back, hopefully just diplomatically and economically, but anyway, a coordination is needed. No single country, not even the United States, can stand up alone against authoritarian rules. If you take China, Russia, these are huge countries, huge economic powers. We need to stand together to have a chance to impose, for example, sanctions. They are meaningful and not just jokes to have a clean conscience, but without any impact on the life of those that are oppressed. So a League of Democracies is fundamental. A League of Democracy is the future, and we must make it happen as soon as possible. Every day wasted is a day where authoritarian rules is strengthened and where democracy retreat. So June we're going to have the G7 meeting in Scotland, here in the United Kingdom, is a perfect setting to start pushing our idea that democracies must come together. For that reason, we have set up a wonderful team within now. We have obviously protests every week. We call them Fridays for Freedom. And Colombe, that is commenting under my post, under my video on Instagram, I suppose on every social media, is the person that is leading the effort. So if you care about democracy, if you care about freedom, if you have friends, family, and relatives in oppressed places of this planet, please consider taking action. Please consider joining a campaign. Please consider stepping up. Because no one is doing it for you. We are too few to change the tide, so we need support. And we need support fast because, as I said, June is in 6 months, and we want to have a result already in June. So if you want, direct message Colombe. As I said, she's commenting. And I also saw a question from Dr. Zivago. After what happened in Washington, D.C., do you believe democracy in Europe is in danger? Of course. I completely believe democracy in Europe is in danger. Democracy is crumbling all over the place. Obviously, and hopefully, is still way more resilient than in other places. Europe still has many of the oldest democracies in the world. But as we saw in DC, it's very easy to lose control of democracy, especially in time of economic downturns, misinformations, and people, politicians able to play with emotions like fears. And sadly enough, this is one of those moments. If you think about it, it's the perfect storm to bring down democracy. We are going to have some tough years ahead. Even if we have a vaccine now for COVID, the situation was already difficult. Now it's going to be even more difficult. So let's be very optimistic. For the next 3 to 5 years, we won't have a great economy. So people will be struggling. So first element, they put democracy in danger. Second, we have these wonderful machines called social medias and internet that increment exponentially the risk of misinformation, of conflict, of tensions, which are, again, wonderful tools, but also with a lot of negative aspects. And so there is a second element that put democracy under strain. Never before a lie could spread so fast as of today. If you gave social media to Adolf Hitler, I don't know where we would be today. So we have to be very careful. So if you put together these two elements with the fact that we have sadly skilled politicians playing with these tools and with this situation, and we have them from Donald Trump to many other countries, Marine Le Pen in France, Salvini in Italy, and these are just the countries that I know more, but name a country and I'm sure that in 1 minute you can find a populist politicians, right, normally strongly right-winger, but probably also strongly left-winger sometimes, that is thriving in the polls and is doing very well, while 10 years ago was a nobody. This means that democracy is under strain. So to answer your question, sorry if I took so long, yes, democracy at risk. Yes, we need to step up. Yes, also in Europe, in North America, wherever you think the democracy is safe, is not. So that's why the G7 is fundamental. The League of Democracy can be instrumental to protect democracy abroad, but also within, because countries can keep each other accountable, something that right now is very difficult to do, even in democratic blocs like the European Union, where countries like Hungary or Poland have definitely decreased their democratic freedoms, and other countries have no way to stop them. So my answer is yes, get active, we need you. Jumping now to the second topic I wanted to cover today is a more joyful topic, even if as important. And I see there are also two questions on Instagram that I'm gonna pick later. They are also about democracy, but I wanna go to the whole do the whole tour and come back to democracy at the end. So joyful news, we have restarted with a lot of effort our community work. What do I mean? I mean that as of 2 weeks ago, we decided to reopen everywhere on the planet our local teams. They will bring our global vision to reality at the local level and push for campaigns, initiatives, events to ensure that from Botswana to Sweden, from Mexico to Japan, the same values, the neo values, are promoted, advanced, and protected. And this is wonderful because we couldn't do it for 9 months. Like for most of our first years of existence, our work to create communities was stopped because of the pandemic. And now, even if the pandemic is still here, with a bit of optimism and energy, we decided to restart. So we started 2 weeks ago. We have already 15 teams open, 10 more hopefully are going to be open tomorrow. We have a second bunch of training. We are training local leaders. We are giving them all the tools needed to impact change at local level. And if you go on our website, you're going to see already a map with the first 15 teams open. They are from North America to Africa to Europe to Asia. Hopefully with this round, we're going to also, so starting from tomorrow, we're going to also open them in other continents. And it's an exciting, very exciting feeling. I don't know if you've ever been in a video conference with people literally from all over the planet. It's a unique feeling. It's incredibly motivating for what you're doing. And we must keep on pushing. We must keep on creating teams. We must keep on going local, because local is where we can really change things. So I'm going to give some practical example. We have a wonderful person in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that has started a team and has already initiated a campaign to force the city council, to push the city council to install solar panel on all new buildings in the city. Wonderful idea. Tulsa has a lot of sun. It's unbelievable that they didn't think about creating this regulation. Obviously, there will be some extra cost upfront for new buildings, but whatever you save in electricity, but also simply in saving the planet, is money well spent. So, wonderful example of a campaign that we just started, but that's not all. We don't do only climate. I want to pick on India as well. We have a great team in Bangalore and one team in New Delhi. And one of the two teams has already started with great courage and character to take on one of the biggest problems of our planet, but definitely of India as well. There is rape. Rape culture, police forces do not prosecute rapes. In India, there have been huge causes of gang rapes and individual rapes, and it's not a news. It's so often. And our team has decided to take on the challenge to try to dismantle the system. Obviously, it's not something that will happen in 2 months. It's a way bigger challenge than solar panel, but it's a much in the challenge. And seeing a 19-year-old female leader of now taking on such an initiative with our support makes makes me really proud of the work we are doing. It makes me understand that the power of bringing people together from all over the planet is unique, and it can also create resilience, create courage in every corner of this planet. So if we manage to tackle the rape culture in certain areas of India, we can take on everything. And I'm extremely proud of our members for deciding to do so right at the beginning of this venture, after a week the team was created. So this is the spirit. Wherever you are, you can play a part. Go on our website, become a member. You're going to receive an email telling you, look, if you are in one of those 15 cities, contact the leaders of the city. If you are somewhere else, take the courage in your hands, open a team. We are going to train you. I personally lead the trainings. Every week we have different trainings, strategy trainings, technical trainings, campaign trainings, and less than a month and you're going to be an impressive campaigner. In 6 months, you're going to be better than me. So jump on. We want you. Open a local team, and let's bring this team from 25 that we're going to have tomorrow to 50 to 100 by the end of the year. Let's bring a global message of hope and positivity and bravery all over the planet. This is what is needed. We don't need more social media. We don't need more likes. We need people to take action. And I see many people following this live, and I know that many might be joining this adventure with me and with us. And I'll be there with you. I will be there supporting you all the way. It's going to be fun. I completely agree with you, Fifi, but the solar panel is a great idea. You should join us. We have, if I remember correctly, you're from Kenya, but I'm not sure. But we have a team in Nairobi starting as well. And we're soon going to have a team also in Tunisia, in Botswana. If you're interested, solar panels are the future, and we must make them compulsory. I see also Gwendalina joining, team leader in Rome, another super teenager. Ciao, Gwendalina, wonderful to have you with us. So that was just to say the community is cool. We have many things to do. It's just the start. You can play a role. So as I said, for democracy, this is a wider discussion. With a community team, you can advance any campaign in line with Now's vision on any topic you feel passionate about: climate, women's rights, democracy, vaccines, any taxation, anything you believe that the world is needed, the world needs, and is in line with our vision, with our values, jump on. Fifi, wonderful. If you can send us a DM, we're going to put you in touch with the team leader in Nairobi. If you're in Nairobi, if you're not in Nairobi, we can open a team with you wherever you are, and we make it happen. I love this energy. Let me now jump. I'm speaking a lot, but I want to give you a lot of content to think about, because this is the most important thing. Evaluate critically whatever I'm telling you, but jump on if you can. So the third topic that I want to cover today is a wonderful addition to our team. So we have Zoe, that I think she's following this live. She has joined now as its social media manager. I didn't find the word. It's new social media manager. She started just a week ago, and all the super cool new posts that you see with catchy titles, strong messaging, it's all her. And it's just the first week. So imagine in a month where we're going to be, I'm worried we're going to become too popular. It's going to be difficult to manage. No, I'm joking, but she's really great. So if you have ideas for social media, if you want to help in content production, if you have suggestions, you can text us on any social media that we have. She's going to read it. She's going to jump on it. We're also starting opening local pages and social media for local teams with her help. So the team is a bit stronger now. We have a new social media manager. It's great news because this year we really want to rock it. So welcome, Zoe. And I'm sure that I'm speaking for the whole community. We can't wait to do better and go bigger with social media. Last topic that I want to cover, and then I'm going to go back to the question I received before, is the agenda for 2021. So what do I mean with the agenda for 2021? I mean, we have a 10,000 people movement. So we are very motivated. We have a lot of ideas. So we need to try to structure to have a plan. If not, we're going to roll over. So as I said, we're definitely investing a lot of energy on the community, and is one full stream of work. We're opening teams, but the global team is also 3 or 4 topics that we really want to tackle. One I mentioned before is obviously democracy. Democracy is going to be now our radar. We're going to push it as crazy, but I already mentioned it. So let me mention the other topics that we are thinking about tackling. So in a month from now, if everything goes as it's supposed to be, we're going to launch a campaign on COVID vaccines. If you have seen the data recently, you're going to notice how shameful is the fact that a good chunk of this planet, probably around half of the countries of this planet, still do not have access to a COVID vaccine, and will not have access and for a few years at least. And when I say not access, not obviously a few doctors will have it, a few politicians will have it, but the bulk of the population might wait years to be vaccinated. Today, me and my co-founder Colombe were on a call with a Tunisian partner of ours that is helping with cybersecurity. We were discussing about COVID, and he said, if we are lucky here, we might get the vaccine in 2 years. And that's very, very true. People think that their vaccination is homogeneous, that many countries are receiving access. Is not the case. There are a whole segment of countries that are left behind. And this, for me, is one of the biggest crime of history, and that history will hold us accountable for. So in good conscience, I can't stay silent. And I know that many people like me feel ashamed about this situation. The fact that during a pandemic, vaccine access is still completely dependent on the wealth of a country is one of the biggest shortcomings of human development. So I hope that if you're following this live, you're gonna volunteer and help us for this campaign. We're gonna launch in a month from now. It's a very cool campaign, very special, where we're gonna actually try to advocate for a better distribution of vaccines in front of the UN bodies that are responsible for the coordination of vaccines. So first campaign, COVID vaccines, we want you on that one. Second campaign, economic inequalities. Biggest topic of, as I said before, of the next 3 to 5 years. We had a crisis 10 years ago, and boom, second crisis, devastating crisis right now with COVID. Economies are completely overwhelmed. And that means that young people, of which I marginally still consider myself in as a 29 years old, but definitely younger people, and me in particular, have suffered a lot from this crisis. It means that for the first time in many generations, in many countries, the new generation is poorer than their parents. It means not having access to building a family. It means not having the possibility to renting or buying a house, and many other things. And this is a huge problem for our society, because especially those young people that are most affected are not the ones that are responsible for any of those crises. Like, they are not the one that were in power when the financial crisis exploded. They were not the one having a say on how the COVID crisis is managed. So young people are really suffering. So that's why we're going to launch a campaign, a huge campaign, not only a Snap Action, but actually a full campaign on aimed at tackling the big problem of economic inequalities, giving access to finance to young people, ensuring that the countries do not waste their money and the limited resources on stupid things like fossil fuels subsidies, when on the other side they're spending a lot on green programs. So we're going to try to bundle together a whole proposal to say, okay, this is what we need to bring our economy to where it has to be, where young people have a future, young people have an option, young people can decide what they want for themselves, and where public money are not wasted on anachronistic programs and things that do not help anyone. So this is the vision, this is what we are trying to do. This is going to happen in the spring. If you like the topic of economic inequalities, if you are personally affected, if you know people are personally affected, do not hesitate to volunteer. Any one of us has a role to play. Any one of us can change the future. If you stay behind your screen, you won't change the future. If you join us as a member, you will help. So please do it. If you don't have time, financial contributions are always welcome. If you have time, we want to ownership with us. Third topic, so vaccine, economic inequality. Third topic, elephant in the room. Everything else can be fixed, but if we don't fix the climate, there's not going to be a future. So we worked a lot already on climate. You know it. You probably followed us during that time. We decided that this summer we are going to get back on our feet and fight back against climate change once more. How? Advocating for a global climate emergency, as we always do, in front of the United Nations, in front of COP26, the conferences of the parties, the UN Environment Conferences is going to happen in November. We're going to use the whole summer to create a powerful campaign to move the souls and hearts of people all over the planet and ensure that if we don't change, if you don't fix the climate, there is nothing else to do. Everything else is words. Everything else is nice to have. But if I know that my kids in 30 years will not be able to live on the Mediterranean where I grew up because the Mediterranean will be dry, there's nothing to do. If I know that your kids in Africa or South America or in Asia will not be able to live where their parents and their family have lived for generations because of climate change, anything else is meaningless. So we need to tackle this problem at the source. We need to ensure that at least in the United Nations and this international forum, it's clear there is not business as usual. It's not only Greta and a few activists saying that, but it has to become mainstream. We need to ensure that governments all over the planet know that this is the mainstream knowledge. We are not in business as usual time. We are in a global climate emergency. So act accordingly. So this is the campaign we're on this summer. So vaccines, economic inequalities, climate, and then we get to the fall. We have a lot of energies, a lot of hopes, and a lot of opportunities. So we are probably thinking about another campaign on the economic side, maybe taxing our dear friend Jeff Bezos and asking the Amazon and similar multinationals start paying their fair share. I mean, this is a huge topic. Tax havens and digital multinational not paying their fair share. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I did it a bit to think about these kind of campaigns and kind of topics. You will be astonished that governments are not doing their best to stop this. I mean, we are not talking about 20 millions of dollars, euros, or whatever. We are talking about 500 billions. We are talking about trillions of money that completely fly under the radar of wealth taxes, income taxes, corporate taxes, and so on. So with this money, you could implement crazy programs to improve our society, our life, anything else. Sorry, I have a problem in saying to improve anything we are doing. And, it wouldn't be terrible even for multinationals. I mean, they will still be working quite well and paying taxes like any other business is paying taxes, like the restaurant at the corner, but also, a car maker, a local car maker. Like, you don't have to think only about businesses as all bad. No, there are many businesses that pay their fair share. And then there are those that are often in the digital landscape where it's very difficult to tax them, or those that are so international that they can move profits and revenues in a very shadowy way, and those are not paying their fair share. And so it's a fundamental task for us to ensure that those money are not wasted, not because we hate businesses, too bad for them, they're doing what they want, but because we need those monies to end up in programs that are more important for our future. As I said, climate mitigation, vaccines. support for young people, support for vulnerable population, transportation, anything you want, but not this waste. So it's fundamental that before the end of the year, we also try to tackle this huge problem. I agree with you, Alexander, is a huge topic, very tough, but who is better positioned than a global movement to try to tackle it? There are very little players on this planet that can say, okay, from Sweden to Switzerland to South Africa to Mexico, we actually agree that we need to solve this problem, and we are together and try to solve it. This is the real power that we have that no one else has. And so I hope there's a global movement. If we push, we put the right energy behind, we actually gonna solve also this one. It's not gonna be a short-term project, obviously, but it's fundamental to start. And so if you are very annoyed, if you ever worked for in the private sector, if you owned a small bar, if you have family members that have worked in the private sectors, ask them how annoying it is that they pay taxes, we all pay taxes, and the richest people on this planet don't pay taxes. And again, by paying taxes, they wouldn't go bankrupt. They would probably still all be the richest people on this planet. But it would just be fair. Right now, it's not fair. And when something is not fair, my grandmother told me when I was a kid, you have to fix it. So I hope that your grandmother or your grandfather told you the same. We all have to try to fix things that are not fair. And this one is one of the most unfair situations I'm aware of. So 2021 in 4 words: vaccines, economic inequalities, climate, tax justice. If you like this program, if you like any of these topics or all of them, again, the best thing you can do to help is go on our website, top right corner, if you're from desktop, also if you're from mobile, I suppose, become a member, join us, become a member. There are 4 membership tiers. Obviously, if you can afford it, a small contribution, it's wonderful because it helps us to keep everything running. If you cannot, join for free, it's completely fine. We love anyone that join us, and we need anyone to join us. That's it. I covered all the topics. I spoke a lot. I like the motivation I see in comments. I like the motivation I see in my likes. This is the energy that we need to change the world. And as I said, tomorrow there are going to be trainings for new organizers, but actually most of new people. So if you want to open a local team of now, go on the events, become a member first, and then you go on the events page. You're going to see that on the 3rd of February, we're going to have a massive onboarding call with a lot of new teams. I want to go from 25 to 50 teams next week. So wherever you are, dedicate 1 or 2 hours to improve the planet, especially now that probably are in lockdown. It might be liberating and fun, and you're going to meet a lot of incredible people from all over the planet. So become a member, join the community team. Let's do it together. It's going to be a hell of a ride. You're going to tell your kids in 20 years, look, 20 years ago, I joined this crazy project, and now we all live on Mars because we fucked up. And now we did crazy stuff, and the world is better. So I really want you with me in this adventure. If you have any final question, I'm happy to take it. If not, I will probably stop this very long broadcast and go back to work. I'm scrolling. I see a lot of supporting comments. That's very good to see. I see that Fifi is going to join our Kenyan team, our Nairobi team. That's very good. I see a lot of faces that I know. Thank you, Fifi, for this. As I said, it's really time to get active. And as actually we say in every community call, which is a bit awkward, but we are getting used to it, together, united, we cannot be defeated. That's the slogan. Together, we are stronger than alone. So join us. We're going to change the world. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.